My name is Manish. I'm working as an assistant professor in JNT OTPRA, Analytical. Today our topic is pharmaceutical analysis by explaining different types of analytical techniques which are using or which are involving in industries. Let us see one by one the contents. In the pharmaceutical analytical techniques, we are going to explain is pharmaceutical analysis, define the various analytical methods, define the scope of the pharmaceutical analysis. And pharmaceutical analysis is nothing but a practical chemistry that involves a series of processes which is going to for identification, qualification, determination, purification of substances, as well as the separation of the mixture of the components which are present in a compound, as well as we are going to determine their chemical structures as well as the functional groups identifications, which is involved in pharmaceutical analysis. In pharmaceutical analysis, various techniques involves to evaluate as well as their purity and impurity of the chemical substances, and at the same time we can determine the structural education also by using these analytical techniques which are useful in pharmaceutical industries to manufacture drugs as well as chemical compounds. And if you see one by one, pharmaceutical impurities and may develop at various stages of the development, transportation, and storage, which makes the pharmaceutical risk to administrative thus may be detected and quantified. And for the analytical instruments and methods plays an important role. Variety of analytical techniques such as thermometry, chromatography, spectroscopy, electrophoretic, and electrochemical, and other corresponding methods that have been applied in the analysis of pharmaceutical compounds, which are very useful in a pharmaceutical industries to know their compound quantity as well as active ingredient of the quantity of the compound in a particular drug, as well as the purity based upon their and quantifications, as well as the pharmaceutical ingredients which are used in human beings as a prevention of or cure of the diseases. In we can quantify biological matrices also. And history of evaluation of different analytical techniques. If you see in our historical basis or earlier basis of stages analysis, one is the most is conventional methods. In that we are saying explanation of titrations. In that what are the titrations involved in that we are going to explain in next slide. And another milestone is instrumental methods. Here in instrumental methods we are going to use current as well as the reactions between the current and the chemical compounds. We are going to determine based upon the charged particles variations and all. And after that electromagnetic radiations, which is very much important or very much important in the pharmaceutical industries to evaluate the structural compound determinations, any kind of compound determinations we can get easily determined by using electromagnetic radiations, and we can quantify their impurity and purity also. And next, if you see in milestone 4 is chromatography techniques. It is the best in pharmaceutical industries. It is the best technique which is reduce the time, and it is the easiest to identify the how many compounds present in a mixture of compound, easily separate and isolated, and we can reduce the time of analysis also. Next, if you see in fifth one is hyponetic techniques. Here in hyponetic techniques, we are going to couple two different principles which are going to explain next slide. In classification of conventional methods, we can say two types: one titration method and gravimetric method. In this titration methods, we are going to react acid-base titrations as well as the complex mode titration, redox titration, non-aqueous titration, precipitation titration, and nitrometric titrations. In instrumental methods, we are going to explain a various and huge will becomes in instrument methods. You can see electrochemicals, which is nowadays we can use simple method is a pH meter. It is one of the instrument, and pH meter, conductometer, polarography, ampermetric as well as altimetry, and thermal method, thermogravimetric analysis, differential thermal analysis, differential scanning analysis, thermomechanical analysis, and electrophoretic methods. We are applying the external electric field to get separate the compound which is present in the mixture of compounds, as well as electromagnetic radiations. In here involving two principles: one is the absorption, another one is emission. In absorption, you can see UV visible as well as infrared, automatic absorption spectroscopy (NMR), and emission spectroscopy. You can say flame emission spectroscopy and fluorimetric methods. In chromatography method, you can see another one is gas chromatography, HPLC, TLC, and HPLC, and paper chromatography methods. In hyponetic, we have said already combination of two coupled principles, either chromatography spectroscopy or you can see another one chromatographic as well as involved in another techniques electrophoretic methods and all. You can involve two different principles which is coupled. Here in conventional methods we are going to determine the purity of compound based upon the color changes or the precipitation formation of between the compounds while in the reactions we can easily quantify as well as identify the particular purity of the compounds in the pharmaceutical substances. If you see in instrumental methods, there will be a lot of I explained, but if you see in electrochemical methods, we are going to determine their actual concentrations of solute by using electrochemical cell analysis, by measuring their positive charges or potentiality or voltages. Between that, we can easily analyze their actual concentrations are present and the conductivity of the ions also we can easily determine. If you see an electromagnetic radiations, I have said already absorption and emission in that we can if your compound is absorbed it get ground state excited state if you get your compound is emission you can get from higher state to ground state. Here, in meanwhile, that we can what we can identify is the chemical nature of the compound as the structures and their functional groups present in the compound and their bonding nature also we can bonding nature or bonding arrangement chemical bonding arrangements we can easily determine by the interactions between the sample and well as electromagnetic radiations UV visible and infrared and NMR. In thermal methods we are going to heat thermal nothing but we are saying is heat we have total concept is heating to the samples. While in the heating the samples, getting composition, we can easily get the identification of the compositions which are present in the compound. As well as there, we can determine the stability of the compounds in inorganic compounds. Like that, we can determine the potentiality of analytical strengths and purify the easily identified. In next continuation of this slide, you can say chromatography methods. I have said already separation of individual components from mixture of sample by using two phases, which is a mobile phase and stationary phase. Those are the two key phases which are involved in chromatography method. Based upon these two phases, we can easily identify the compositions of the compound. We can applicable these chromatography methods in vast fields like you can say herbal products or biological products as well as pharmaceutical compounds and all. In electrophoretic methods it is the best technique we can say that and it is the here the principle is involved is external electric field motion of dispersion particles according to their charges we can determine their and identification of the compositions and we can say pharmaceutical compounds biological products proteins and determines in electrophoretic method nothing but electrophoresis is easily identify the biomarkers techniques and all and proteomics as well as genomics this principle is involved by using hypnotic technique, electrophoresis along with the spectroscopy. If you see in hypnotic techniques, we have said already couple techniques. We are using different principles which are involved LCMS, or the GCGSMS or ACMS. ACMS nothing but electrophoretic or electrophoresis technique. We are applying that techniques and all to determine the proteomics as well as genomics, which is large biological samples. We can useful to identify the disease specification compound which is present in the proteins and all. So this is the different types of analytical techniques involved and the scopes. If you see in the scopes of analytical techniques in pharma industry is nothing but quality control or routine analysis, which are utilizations and quality assurance and analytical research and development, etc. In geographical services to analyze soil samples. In environmental or pollution control, we are going to analyze the air samples and water, soil, etc. And thank you.